I show my true form. Greetings and Jolantru. Welcome to the Star Trek Online visual review. Well, Starship visual review, where we get onto the next of the Terran ships to look at. And I am saving, personally, what in some ways is the best till last. Not actually, in my perspective, the best till last, but the ship, in my perspective, is best last. Which means this time round, we end up looking at the Trailblazer, the Pathfinder warship variant. I would like to give a warning right now that I have always considered tacking stuff on to be a very risky business. Very easy that it doesn't work. With that, Ri'shad, shall we begin? Hello there. Okay, first of all, I generally don't have a big problem with the Trailblazer, so yeah, we'll focus on that when we're talking about its high detailing. We are first of all going to look at customization and a few quick nods at things. Just things I can do here. Upsides, you'll be able to customize the hull. Hello down there. The saucer. The pylons, which to me is a big deal. And the nacelles. Now, by buying the Trailblazer or the Terran bundle, you'll gain access to the Trailblazer mirror, the warship mirror, more about that in a second, the Intrepid mirror, the Cochrane, the Discovery, irony, and the Intrepid. To get the Belaphon, you need to purchase the Belaphon or the Legendary. And to get the Warship, you need to purchase the Legendary. To get the Pathfinder, again, you will need to purchase either the Pathfinder or the Legendary. Oh, sorry, you also get the Trailblazer with the Terran pack. I totally forgot to mention it. You get the standard as well, which looks great and is one of the only ones to have the Type 7A as its primary hull. I think as a nod more to the Pathfinder, which is Type 7, now Type 7A. And fitting, considering at the time this came out, we didn't have... Where's it gone? Oh yeah, Intrepid. Which you may have noticed with some of the other Terrans. The Prime Universe variants has the standard hull of that lineage. Excuse me. Other upsides, as much as you don't get a special bridge with this ship, you do gain access to the Voyager or the Intrepid if you want to. These are both purchased via either the Pathfinder Bridge Bundle Pack or individually from the Pathfinder. Right. Now, here's the thing. Pathfinder, I think you're a beautiful ship, but I've never liked those pylons hanging down. I get the idea they went for. It's similar to the Titan. It's a low-hanging fill similar to Nebula. Most science ships seem to have their nacelles low. I say most because not all. Vesta, for example, but that was an explorer. That's not a science ship. It's something STO does odd. Okay. Here's the thing. You can have a very nice looking ship. I'm not a huge fan of the Intrepid, but I will say it's very nice. And then you can mess it up. You see this ship in flight. One of those things I say is the messed up is those pylons. I get it matches the Intrepid by having the nacelles low and then having them raised up to saucer level in flight. But this ship looks so damn good with those pylons up. I can't help but just comment this right now. I have to say it. That's my standard look and opinion. And I feel like it would have been way nicer if they went for a... Let's have a belly on the ship, have the nacelles already raised, and let them raise above. There's nothing wrong with having that kind of feel, and I feel like it really works on this ship. God, why am I trying to avoid... I'm sorry, I'm trying to avoid talking about this because I know I'm going to get lynched. Not by Lynch, I don't think. But I've got to say it. Intrepid is nice. Not so nice. I get it's similar to what they did with the Galaxy, and oh yeah, the Galaxy X looks good. The Galaxy X didn't overdo it. I say when they laid a massive cannon on the underside of the saucer and a complete new strut and nacelle. But you see, the overdoing of this is they've randomly tacked on things and forgot to have fault. For example, these weapons here, look at where they're aiming. Just about see past the saucer. Yeah, that's not a brilliant placement. Just turn it round, let it fire backwards. It's kind of useless aimed forwards. Mind you, it does have beam strips all over it. These two are greatly placed. They've got excellent firing arcs. Too bad about the things directly in front of them that also fire side off side. Lance on the front, okay, makes sense. Too powerful like mega phasers, makes sense. They're at least aiming in good positions. And these tacked on, fine. They're just adding extra beam strips. Not sure why you wouldn't just put it on the edges of the hull. Because each beam strip here probably has 1 or 2 emitters. Great. But each one of these strips had like 6 or 7 emitter points. Or the ability to emit 6 beams at once. Just because the strip is... There's multiple strips doesn't mean you're firing more points. You could have had a longer strip taking that whole edge and probably had the same number of emitter firing points. This is Federation design. They're not antiquated. They're very rich. It just seems like an oversight. Like randomly when they did this, when the warship was developed, they forgot what had already pre-established. As we go to the Trailblazer. Let's talk about the Trailblazer's attachdees. Actually, while talking about the Trailblazer, I will quickly show on the paint. I hope I can just about show it. At least you can change the coloration points of a lot of things. It does look good. You will note that the Trailblazer, as it has a hull, saucer and nacelles, doesn't actually have its own, pylons. It also doesn't have its own nacelles, but I guess you could say it does because of Terran. But hey, here we go. Now that's what I call a bridge module. Oh, sorry. First things first. Now, I was going to show you the animation of the lance first, but I do want to talk about the tacked on parts. Because, for me, this is kind of important. So the Trailblazer, in my opinion, is a beautiful starship. Really love its look. In fact, it's going to sound funny, but even though I'm not a fan of the pylons, well, I am. If those were the position of the pylons at warp, I would love the look of the ship. More on that in a bit. Here's the thing. I appreciate the Trailblazer, the Pathfinder, because everything I didn't like about the Intrepid, the Pathfinder fixed. As a result, heavily, I adore this ship. But these tacked on elements, though some of them kind of look alright, don't know why, but I do like these, I don't know what you'd want to call them, enhanced tractor beams, hyper tractor beams, towing arcs, protective barriers for the hangar bay, whatever, sensory nodes. I think they look good. I love the way they look. But having all these tacked on elements, at least when they did the Trailblazer, they didn't make the Voyager mistake that I've spotted. Every weapon has a focused point and use. Now, yes, they've tacked on the side pieces again. That's clearly a nod to the warship. I don't think they would have done that otherwise. I do believe they would have gone more with probably an incredibly long beam strip right along the edge here, or multiple long beam strips. I mean, consider the size of it. Those two there would fit in 2 points along here, and those two there would easily fit over here. And then you got this. Why have something that's easier to hit? It makes no sense, both on Voyager and here. These tack-on bits are actually easier to disable than most weapons would be. Hell, a balkanate cutting beam and slick, and they fall off. See the problem here? But I'm just going to quickly nudge underneath and check. Good. Oh yeah, no, that's the thing I really liked. So they could see forwards. Nice cannons and all those beam strips. Can see forwards. And those weapons can see forwards. They've got no additional ones, which they made the mistake of on the Intrepid, that either blind the two further back or just straight up don't make sense because they're firing across the actual hull of the ship. Well, they're all firing across the hull of the ship, but you know what I mean. They're firing broad to broad rather than forward like they should be in the idea of this ship. Unless you wanted to actually set some of these up to be broadside, in which case I'd probably place them on the lower back of the ship here. Not sure that would look too good though. Probably why they didn't do it. Oh, then again, having said that, now, final thing is this lance. We're going to go into the visual of the lance in a second, but I do just want to nod to it because this is a meaty and beastly looking lance. They call it a spinal lance, even though it's, well, I guess it actually is more on the spine of this ship than the actual Galaxy Spinal Lances, but for me, I would call it the Rhino Horn Lance. Or the Horn Lance. It just looks like a horn waiting to do a lot of damage, and it looks really good. And it's been too easy for them to pull it down there and maintain the flow of the ship. They could have done that. But if you know your starships, no. Good placement. Thank you. Excelente. Finally, I like these lances that much that my actual Trailblazer I'm using, which looks almost entirely like the Pathfinder, minus using Intrepid Pylons, is actually using the Trailblazer hull, so it still has these cannons. Because I like them cannons. I feel like they're fitting. They make sense. It's additional firepower that doesn't overly affect the profile of the ship. Also, I like the tail of the ship here and these little pieces, so yeah, that's fine. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yes, next point. Let's hope I can time this right, because it's not going to be too easy. Because I think you're all going to see it happen again, and it's the same problem as the Lexington has. Yeah, I did try to warn myself when I was going to do it by moving forwards. Oh! Excuse you, Cardi. Now, oh, we'll have to move back. Look where that charge is. Nowhere near the actual cannon. It's way off in front, and if you're on the wrong side of it, it looks like it's actually down by the deflector. And off to the side. Okay. Bit of a better look. So here you can see it's actually forming at the cannon barrel. It's one of the things I really wanted to show. It's not perfect, but it's at the barrel, because when the ship is in motion, the animation is fine to be off center. As you can see, it moves forwards. Not too much, but just a bit. Incoming beam. And then we have the fire. Now, the animation seems to be a bit broken for this. It's great, perfectly from the cannon. Uh-huh. I think you missed. That makes me very unhappy with this cannon, if I'm honest. Very unhappy. At least hit your mark. Again, fired the same straight line that time. Enemies all the way over here now. It's actually hit them both times, but the animation isn't tracking like it should do. It's only a small bug, but hey, we can get over that. Now, if you give me a second. Am I parked? Am I there? Good. Right. So, we've spoken about Trailblazer in a review before. I could re-review the Trailblazer, Visually, maybe. We'll see. People want it, I'll do it. But here's the thing. Not much has really changed on this ship beyond what's been tacked on. I do feel like the new Type 7A hull really does benefit the ship. This brown coppery plating, as much as I don't like dirt paneling, it looks like dirt on the ship. As much as I don't normally like that, it kind of, the feel is right, so I'm not too problematic against it. However, I do use a different hull type in this that gives it more of a copper or a bronze look, but that's more to my taste. I like it to have some metallic feel, and that's a little bit too matte. Excuse me. Now, I do appreciate the Terran markings, and something I did fail to mention while looking at customizations is that happily, as the Intrepid comes along post Terran Empire and during the growth of the second Terran Empire, then yes, it makes sense that they all have red markings too, not the yellows. I also really appreciate actually that the Terran insignia, which I haven't been bringing up on any of the others, has been modified and looks great, because although it's a little bit hard to see, it feels like there's a reminiscence of the Delta in it. Mostly if you look at how between the three main points, you can see that the Delta could fit there. And it's like the Delta has been removed to give way for the Empire. The Federation was removed to give way to the Empire. And I like it. I don't know if it was intentional to create that feeling, but that's what it's done for me. Also, something I couldn't talk about when I first reviewed the Trailblazer, mainly because I wasn't using demo record, but I like how alive this ship feels. Lots of active paneling. Yes, the the Pathfinder's a bit old now, and as a result, although the Trailblazer isn't, it suffers from the weaknesses of the Pathfinder, in that you do have a fair amount of random 2D texturing, but at least it feels alive, it feels active. All these little panels that give you a sense of experimental properties to the ship, much like the Intrepid had. And it just feels like there's a lot of activity going on the ship at all times, in a good way. Don't think all the windows should be lit up. I have the same view as Trek Yards on this. Would have been nice for them to adjust that and had a few blacked windows, but okay, I'm just being nickely there. And I do, again, like I said in the previous Pathfinder review, love the design of the RCS. Honestly, it makes it feel extremely high tech. Like, this is the next stage of RCS technology, and that's perfect to me. The fact they've put heat shrouding on everything as well, like on the side of these plates, you've got clearly the heat extraction vents or paneling, makes it feel like they thought about as well. Just how much energy is in this ship. I mean, if it's powering all of these weapons, this ship is generating an immense amount of heat and energy. And everywhere where there's a lot of weapons, there's a lot of way to vent off heat. I love that. Nacelles, they're just as beautiful as ever. I've always liked these nacelle designs. They've grown on me a lot. I don't think there's anything I would change about them. I do like the fact there's RCS on them. I still like the Pylon impulse engines. I know some would argue, shouldn't the impulse engines be more on the main body? I don't see a problem with them being on the pylons. I definitely like the the upgrading technology for them. This venting and the paneling just makes it feel modular and makes them feel more powerful. And I like the reverse RCS, reverse impulse on the opposite sides of them, giving this ship just a little bit more maneuverability and a nice conduction vent to bring in cool space, air, not air in space, but you know what I mean. The coolness of space to help keep it cool and functioning. I really love the design of the hangar. It's one of my favorite aspects of the ship, and I love the little shroud that hangs over it. And finally, I like the fact that you have these little observation points. It makes me feel like this ship has got its variants 10 forward. Done comfortably. I can see a party and a wedding being held in here. Oh, I'm sorry. Referencing too much now. I like this ship. The secondary deflector looks nice. The primary deflector, I know some people have a problem with it, but I really love its look. And even if you take away the saucer and thus the quantum slipstream element to the deflector which goes with it, the main deflector, though it looks excessively oversized at that point, still looks good. I'm still a big fan of these docking latches. I think it's a great idea that they've added these to the ship. Or, if they are something else, I'm sure they're docking latches, but they could also have been the feet for when this lands on the planet. Again, the vents underneath look great here for the actual warp system modulation. The aero shuttle, I did consider showing it to you guys because it is fully textured, but I would say that's for another video to look more at the aero shuttle. I'm glad it's still there, and I'm glad it's functioning on this ship. Finally, just one last thing. I do have a niggle, and that is the lack of torpedoes to fire forwards. Unless you're going to tell me those are torpedo launchers. Okay, fine. If you wish. They look a bit different, but if you wish. I do really like the torpedo launchers for firing aft. Interesting that there's a docking point there. It makes sense because it's directly to the bridge too. Though I'd hope a high amount of security, because otherwise the bridge can easily be invaded. But having torpedo launchers there, I guess it wouldn't be too wise to try and dock to the back of the ship. Honestly, I think it looks great. I do love the look of the ship, though, specifically the Pathfinder versus Trailblazer. But yes, she's a lovely ship. Now, let's take a look at some visuals. Oh, this should be fun how this is going to work together. Visuals, vanity shields. Let's go. Oh, every time. They're going to attack me again, aren't they? They're going to attack again. Well, I hope they're smart enough not to. Right. Here we go. Those lancers look specifically angry pointing out there. Well, I call them lancers. Cannons. Mega cannons. Ultra cannons. Hyper cannon. I have no idea. Be right back. Yeah, check out the warp. Okay, I'm actually just going to say here why we make this flight, because I have to make this flight to get this Section 31 Vanity Shield. As you can see at warp, this is why I say the pylons look the best when they're up. I would prefer this to be their standard fixture and mode. Also because the facades don't really need to be collecting. Well, they should always be collecting. It's important to get as much fuel as possible, but... Okay, I guess at warp would be a dangerous time, so they're probably not collecting them. But I just feel like it looks better in this position for its standard rest, and when it goes to warp, then it should either lower the nacelles or raise them. With these specific pylons and their design, probably works better to just straight up lower them. Flat ones, like I use with the Intrepid, raise them. I'm not saying the down doesn't look good. I do like the flow. It's nice and smooth. Hello, Akira. Fight me. No? Okay then. I'm not picking a fight with anyone. Okay, so we're back. We're straight Trailblazer now. Why? Because it takes away the red markings as well. Come. All I'm hearing is come. Sounds wrong. Here we go. Oh god, I have a messy inventory, don't I? First up, Alliance. You know, sooner or later, I will get my hands on the updated version of Demo Record, and I might even start doing this in Demo Record. But I'm trying to find the download at the moment. If anyone's got the link. Yes, am I distracted? Yes, I am. Because Bumblebee. I would say it looks kind of good. Intriguing and good. I like the way the black paneling's changed. Next up, Byul. No. Bad. Shame on you. I'm not keen on that. A lot of times I do really like the Byul because of the subtlety in its markings and that. But it took such a prominent point of detailing and just wiped it out into basically being the only thing there is the 3D texturing, and that's it. Because it's now all just a smooth black otherwise, along with secondary deflector. No, don't like it. Yeah. How about Ball Vanity? I swear they should have renamed that one the Cooperative. Calling it Ball Vanity doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on the ship. So far, we're not seeing any problems with texturing details between the tacked on elements. Discovery refit. Secondary deflector looks terrible. Please don't make that a continuing thing. The warp nacelles actually look good. I'm just not keen on the colour of the hull. feels like it's missing too much. Discovery. Now, the RCS look a bit odd. And the cells again, no. No, no, no. Suddenly I saw that front element on the nacelle, that little round disc. No. Looks horrible. It's funny how something can look good until you just see that element that doesn't like the front of the... Nope, that one looks bad too. Okay. Emerald chain. Come on. Saving grace. At least the deflector looks like it's alive this time. Yeah, okay. Oh, for goodness sake. Look before you speak, Ri'shad. Look before you speak. This game likes to prove you wrong. Again, no. What? I'm... Emperors, come on, come on, come on, come on. The deflector is dead. Handling I can kind of forgive. But the deflector is dead. Something odd is going on there on the deflector. The rest of it though, whole texturing, glowing elements, and impulse engines. That all looks really good. It's just the deflectors. I do like the hull as well. For once, considering I don't normally like brown. Vicari. Ah. Now, there's some life to that. It looks worn and beaten, but there's life to it, and I like that. It's aged, it's been through hell. It's like the NX meeting its future self caught in a essential causality time loop. I can't remember what was actually going on in that episode. You know, during the Xindi season 3, when you have the issue with the Xindi and Enterprise gets, well, meets its counterpart from the future in the past. It's been stranded and heavily modified over time. Hell, it was firing plasma. Yeah, don't use phaser anymore. I want phased plasma. Ferengi Vanity Shield. Well, you do have phased plasmatic on this. Yeah, that's a thing. Hello, Ferengi. The weapons look actually really good. I like how they're distinctly different colour from the rest of the hull. Strips and all. Kind of wish that I get why it's made with latinum. Well, gold plating. It's not latinum. Have they solidified latinum for the weapons over here? Hold fire, hang on. I had to look it up. I knew it! I knew it! It's a silvery liquid. That's latinum. I knew it. Yes, they solidified latinum on the ship. Damn it, Pseudo! Why is it Pseudo? It's the first Ferengi that comes to my mind. Not Quark, not Rom, not Nog. Oh wow, Nog was a little bit delayed there. Then again, Rom was my favourite. In DS9, I liked Rom. Oh, and Grand Negus deck. How did I forget him? Oh god, the Ferengi are going to be mad at me. Hook. I will say the Ferengi one actually looked really good. Her deflector looks really nice. I like the way that deflector looks. Oh, I really like the way the deflectors look. And funny enough, with the shape of the ship, I can't remember what beetle shells are made of, but the feel of the hull, the way it's like these fibers, it works for me. It looks good. The only niggle I have is the trench, but it's not too bad. So yeah, I like that one too. God, it's like we started off literally on a bad foot and slowly get it. Okay. Oh crap. Well, Nacelles made me feel ill. This looks atrocious. Am I allowed to just get rid of the Kelvin divergence? I guess not. Medical Vanity. I mean, if this ship was coming to your rescue, you'd feel safe. You'd know it's gonna make. We need to get an emergency team to this place, but it's completely surrounded by dreadnoughts. Don't worry. Our new rescue ship is a warship. Run away! I'm losing my mind, don't mind me. Platinum. I never had any mind to begin with, who am I kidding? That looks good. I like that. I very much like the way this looks. Platinum is presently my favourite. God damn it. Yeah, Platinum is definitely my favourite right now. Section 31. Ha! Didn't last very long. Section 31 is my favourite. Could feel some life and energy even though it's darkened out. My big niggle on the others. I like the red trim there. Ooh. Yeah, this ship just feels ominous. If this was turning up, I would be nervous. I think I've just decided which ship we're actually using in the Sovereignty playthrough. You heard it here first. Modified Trailblazer Pathfinder. We're section 31. Zenkef. What the? I mean, okay. To each their own. It's not bad. Can't say it's good, but it's not bad. Okay. Next, we go to... I'm actually nervous. Xaphan. Oh. Oh ho ho ho. How's it going? That's the first thing I see. Why does that always come to my head? Every time I see something, I'm like, oh, that looks better than I thought it was going to. I immediately get Tenacious D in my head. How's it going? No, I'm not going to finish that off. Nice. I actually like the deflector trench as well. It's kind of cool. Let's get assimilated. Something's up with the trench there, and I don't like it. Actually, that works. Because I could see... It's the bulk. Being tacked on and out of place makes sense. That's going to be interesting at warp. Ironically, save for that when that's at warp. What the devil? Probably would have considered putting that down on the edge or more to the front. Yeah, definitely more to the front. Attach it to the front of the cell and have it chasing that leading edge. Would have looked way better. You know what they say about hindsight? Bjorn. Oh, hello there. Not what I was expecting. Don't mind me, emergency services going past. I didn't do it. Sorry about that, just giggling to myself. I say that every time I hear a police car or an ambulance. I didn't do it. You can't prove anything. Delta Alliance Unimatrix. I only set him on fire. It's fine. I mean, what? Okay. Ironically, it's not as bad as I was expecting, but random black dead spacing or element loss. It's like it's got dead pixels. It's got dead coils. I hate it when that has that look. Oh, no. Looks bad. Later, tailors. None of you heard me say that. Counter command. None of you heard me say that. It's not too bad, but honestly, it's not great either. I think I'd give that one a pass too. I'm not liking most of these holes, am I? What's wrong with me? Dyson. Well, I'll say this, it suits the ship. Probably would pick a different hull type. Yeah, different hull type, but then this would suit the ship. Dun dun dun. I set him on fire later, okay. What? Iconium resistance. What's going on with the trench? The lance looks interesting. So uncertain. With no uncertain terms, I've decided to set it on fire. Oh no! What? Okay. Next, Lucari. What the? I'm I'm either being confused or just confused, bewildered, or just put off most of these holes. Some of them look okay in areas, like this one's got decent glowing elements. Even the Tron stripes don't bother me too much. It's just... there's bits that randomly put me off. This one's not too bad. Feels slimy and scaly though. I guess that's kind of the idea. Mako, Marco, Polo, hello. No. Oh, the second my mind registered the yellow. No. Deflector looks good. Mind you, I've always liked this Vanity shield just because of the sort of meshing it puts onto so much of the ship, and it works for me. And I like how it gives a shine to the ship as well. It's not normally shiny, it's just... Okay, you've got this texture. Oh! Shine. Polished. I know, it feels cleaner. That makes sense. Nakura. The Folian. Yes. The opposite. Yes, I like it. Actually, I really like that. Combo yellow-blue. Mind you, I've always had a distinct weakness for Folian, but then I love Folians. They're such a cool species and race, and their ships are so elegant, powerful. You don't see enough of the truth, but Folians are incredibly powerful. Prevailing. Not one of my favourites normally. Yeah, it's not doing much for the ship, if I'm honest. In fact, it's actually greatly worsened the aesthetic. Nah, I really don't like Prevailing on this one. Competitive, you fail. Get out of here. Romulan Advanced. Ha ha ha. I feel like it was primed for good, but ruined by the bits that were a bit over the top. If you took away the random extra green panelings, like all the bits that it's turned green on base parameters, such as the very lower section of the hull, the fin grids, the bit on the bottom of the quantum slipstream module, back of the ship, these bits and the pylons and the cells, well, the parts in the cells that would normally be black, not the part that is white. The black on the top of the saucer, leave all that would normally be white. It would have looked a damn sight better, and I think that's what's ruined it, in my opinion. Primed for good, ended up being bad. Temporal. I really don't know. I want to like it. I do, but I think it's one of these times where I kind of feels like detailing is lost again. It's too white. That's what it is. Terran. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh. I don't know about you guys, but I am very disappointed. Oh, I was so hoping this would be a good one. Turned out to be a disaster case, in my opinion. Well, at least there's one that's guaranteed to be worse than it. Hello, trash bin. Oh my word, how bad does that look? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No. I need to get that off. Jumpadar. Hey. Aged, outdated, really could use a texture overhaul, but you know what? I like it. Come on, Cryptic, update this Vanity Shield, please. I've worked out how your Vanity Shields work now. I know you can do it. It's not like they go through every single ship and have to create a vanity texturing for every ship individually. Nah. These are working off of 3, might be more, but definitely 3 panel types. And they distinctly put a specific element to each element on that. You also have then, I guess 4 and 5, the glowing elements with your warp and facade and deflector. But yeah. Impulse. Oh no, that normally goes on the impulse one, doesn't it? Final one. Romulan. Or Riemann, should I say. Riemann Advanced Prototype. I knew I was going to like this. I knew I was going to like it before we looked at it, because I liked it on the Pathfinder. Looks great. There's not too much of the honeycomb. It's nice, shiny, clean. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. But nothing is quite matching my favourite. Section 31. Get off my screen. There we go. Nice, ready, dangerous, frightening. We can have some beautiful fun with this ship. What are your guys' thoughts on it, visually speaking? This is the visual review. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the looks of the ship. Do you have the same problem with tacking on elements that I have? Or do you think it works? I say it's okay when done right, but it's a risky business. All that being said though, my final score visually, and I'm adapting, I'm going to match other YouTubers. So out of 5, a 5-star rating now rather than my old out of 10. Out of 5, I will give this ship I'll give this ship the same score that I would give the Pathfinder itself. And that is 4 out of 5. Now the Pathfinder, if it had flat pylons, it could reach, it would have been 5 out of 5 visually. But even if this ship had flat pylons, it would still only be 4 out of 5. But that comes down to the tacked on nature. I like that it's been done smarter. Lord have mercy, I won't be as mean to this ship as I would be the warship. Voyager, Intrepid. But I'm still niggly at the elements. And will remain so. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to hearing from you. Can I say a massive thank you to the individuals credited on screen right now, as I wouldn't be able to do this video without their generosity and support. And I ask that you maybe check out the description below for our links and social medias, as well as ways to support the channel if you wish. But this is entirely up to you. Now, someone clearly wants to die, so excuse me. Live long and prosper.